Hello world, this is a Dark Knight up to level 30 guide. This is Shadowbringers 5.2. For the glamour set, we have the Ravel Keeper's Guillotine, the Posny for the head, Strife Vest, Punching Gloves, Strife Bags, and the Spring Shoes. Links for both gear and accessories can be found in the description box below. Welcome to a Shadowbringers Skill Spotlight. Level 1, we get Hard Slash, delivers an attack with a potency of 200. It is instant cast with a weapon skill global cooldown. Level 2, we get Syphon Strike, delivers an attack with a potency of 100. If you are in a combo, after the Hard Slash, you're going to do 300 potency instead and restore a bit of your mana. It is instant cast with a weapon skill global cooldown. At level 6, we get Unleash, deals magic damage with a potency of 150 to all nearby enemies. It is instant cast with a spell global cooldown. You'll be using this for 3 or more targets. At level 10, we get Grit, significantly increases enemy generation. Effect ends upon reuse. It is instant cast with an ability off global of 10 seconds. You pop this on, you become the immediate tank. Make sure you grab aggro on everything and make sure that your party members don't die before you do. At level 15, we get Unmend. Deals magic damage with a potency of 150. Additional effect increased enmity. It is instant cast with a spell global cooldown. You're going to use this to pull a single target. If also during combat, you can pop this midway to put quite a bit of aggro onto yourself. At level 26, we get Souleater, delivers an attack with a potency of 100. After Syphon Strike in a combo, you're going to do 400 potency instead. Restores own HP with a cure potency of 300. It is instant cast with a weapon skill global cooldown. And at level 30, we get Flood of Darkness, deals magic damage with a potency of 250 to all enemies in a straight line before you. Additional effect grants Dark Side, increasing damage dealt by 10%, duration of 30 seconds. Extends Dark Side duration by 30 seconds to a maximum of 60. It is instant cast with an ability off global of 2 seconds, so you are able to spam this as long as you have the mana. The mana cost of 3,000, that is. So for single target rotation, make sure you put on the Grit, Unmend, and then we're going to get it into melee range. We're going to do the Hard Slash first, Syphon Strike, and then finish it off with your Souleater. That is basically your 1-2-3 combo. AoE is extremely simple. So we basically unmend if it's a single target. If they are tethered, if you see like a little red line going between them, I'll show you guys in a dungeon example. You do the same. We start off with unmend. And then as soon as you get into melee range, you're just going to spam your Unleash till you get to about 2 targets. If it's 3 or more, just spam Unleash. Alright. Hello everyone. Let's put on the Grit. Make sure you don't forget that. Otherwise we are no tank whatsoever. Let's grab that first target. So this is post commentary. As you can already notice, the background music is not on. I completely forgot all about that. So we're grabbing quite large. I have 4 targets on me, and there's one peppering me from a distance. So this is a general rule of if you're grabbing a lot of mobs, make sure you put on up to 2 mitigation tools. Since I was getting hit by 5 targets, I put on 2 of them. Typically 4 or less is 1, and 5 or more is 2. That changes depending on the dungeon. Some mobs in higher level dungeons, they hit pretty hard, so you know, sometimes even 3 is good enough for 3 targets is good enough for 2 mitigation tools. So as always, make sure you maintain Dark Side. You're going to see that helmet on the bottom right section. There's going to be a timer limit of 60 seconds. Make sure that timer does not expire. Make sure that helmet does not go completely dark. Make sure it's always glowing. We're going to stun this target right here. And I'm always trying to maintain as much mitigation as possible. At this lower level, you want to just blow off all of your mana on Dark Side. You really don't need to hold on to it whatsoever. A few things that you can go along with Dark Knight at this level, or even in general, is you can use potions. Any kind of potion that restores MP will restore Dark Knight's MP now. As of Shadowbringers, they have removed the limitations on Dark Knight in terms of recovering mana. You can go ahead and just spam potions as you're able to, so you can replenish the mana for Flood of, I believe, Darkness. Flood of Darkness, so you can spam that more often. So up here, real soon, this is just pretty much a general rule of thumb. When you're pulling a lot of mobs, you're going to sometimes see a tether once you click on a target or you interact with them. You saw that tether going to that swamp pugil down there. How I'm clicking this one to the left and it's not being tethered to anything. That's aggro tether. I have 3 targets on me. I had 2. I would have had 5. I didn't have any mitigation, so I didn't want to grab too many. 3 is fine if you don't have any mitigation. It's pretty safe. 4 is kind of iffy, but 5 is definitely you're going to need some mitigation. So as you can see there, that's basically a aggro tether. You want to make sure that if you are limited to how many you can pull currently, that you pay attention to that aggro tether. As you can see here, the healer pulled more. So we have mitigation tools now, but we didn't have so before. The thing about being tank is that the healer calls the shots. If the healer wants to pull more, we have to kind of take the hit. We are basically a punching bag. If the healer pulls and they're able to maintain us, that is perfectly fine. If we die because they could not maintain us, that is not our fault. If the DPS pull instead, you are obligated to not maintain them. There's really no reason for DPS to be pulling aggro in a dungeon. I have done that before, and the tank basically let me die, as well as they should have. Definitely let your DPS die if you're unable to manage. But there's a few things you can do as DPS to kind of go around this. You know, you're playing DPS, you're not exactly playing a tank, but if the tank is doing their AoE rotation like I was doing there, as a DPS you can grab aggro and then you can bring it to the tank while they're doing AoE, and then they can just grab aggro away from you. That's a bit of a cheeky thing that DPS do. So here the healer is going off to the segmented route that is not necessary to do. They can do this, so pay attention. The healers can actually pull more enemies that are not necessarily required to do. More specifically in the lower levels, there are certain routes that don't require you to actually kill the enemies, so they're going back there to grab the big cat coral thing, and I have to just pay attention. So you are the tank, make sure you're grabbing all the aggro as possible, and just make sure that the aggro is on you and not on anybody else. But of course, the healer is the one that calls the shots. If they can maintain my health bar and I can just keep doing as what I've been doing up until now, that's pretty much it. A few things before we move on to the boss fight. I will be uploading videos on role skills, individual role skills per melee, caster, tank, what names you, in very short video segments. So the boss fight is basically the same as we've had before. Make sure you have one mitigation tool on you at all times. Rampart is our highest priority right now. We don't do Rampart just because there's going to be a tank buster coming. You want to mitigate auto attacks. Auto attacks from bosses do more damage than tank busters in the long run. So you want to make sure that there's always a mitigation on you. I'm watching that timer like a hawk right now. I don't typically do so. I just want to make sure that you guys understand. So our Rampart just expired. We want to put another mitigation tool on us. That stun just expired. We put another one on top of us. Make sure that you keep the boss in a good position. We do actually have a melee. We have a ninja. So I want to make sure that the ninja is able to hit the positionals, and I want to make sure that the boss itself is not in a favorable position for the boss. I want to make sure that is a favorable position for us. So here we stun the target again. I'm just watching timer, and I have no mitigation tools left. So from here on is basically just just a healer in terms of mitigation. They're going to heal up. It's going to be a bit difficult because we don't have mitigation. So here the boss is about to recover, go into a bit of a regen state. This boss is pretty much the only dungeon that I can run that doesn't go above or below a certain level range. But as you can see there, I had to get the tank or the boss itself out of those poisonous pools. So repositioning your target is the tank's priority. Make sure you reposition your target as needed. And with that, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Hello world, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe here. You can also donate if interested in supporting the channel. More content to watch on the right side. If interested in joining in the Tempest Talons, info in the top left. And as always, good luck to you, and we'll see you next time.